Well, we're back on the GMC. Picked up some laser cut parts. What do you think of the design of these, hey? You got to love a bit of detail, what most people won't ever see. But yeah, I've got these 4 cross members to go in to support the timber. So I had the notch cut out at 60 millimeters wide, and it's, I guess I haven't put a caliper on it, but I think the box section might just be a little bit over that. So they need a little bit opening up. I'll do that with the grinder. Got myself a nice new flat disc. What is this one? 120 grit. Should be good. You don't want to have to push these things too hard. So with that opened up a little bit and loosened off the bolts on these rail fasteners, just a little tappy tap tap and it's dropped into place real nice. You know, because these are just set by eye on the bed. It's designed so that the bottom of this U channel, this channel is about the same height as the box section. It's actually quite a good example here of how this stuff is manufactured. You can see that this is probably close to an end where it's been bashed and what have you. You can see this one is a lot more uniform. That's a 50 and this is a 60 wide. So that's why you get some of that business going on. But I'm inclined to believe that this piece is nice and accurate. But that's how it's designed, so that we've got a nice bit of meat to put a nice weld fillet around there, holding this in place, and it's going to make a nice support for the box section. Sorry, for the wood. Yeah, so it's good to just test this stuff out before you start welding it all on, of course. I'll lay it all out. I could have put a piece of box section across here and welded it on, and that would have been fine. But what I'm not wanting to do is drill through the box section and then have a place for water to get in and rust it from the inside out. This way, when it gets shot blasted and powder coated or whatever treatment I put on it, every little gap will either be sealed up or it'll be coated in something. Yeah, quite happy with that. I'll get the rest of these just ground in real nice, just let in. We'll set them on the bed. So that's how the bed rail is going to look, spaced at 500 centres. The bed's 2,500 long, so 2.5 metres long. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. First thing I notice is that this one is right where it ought not to be. So I want to cut out on that wheel arch piece. So I'm going to have to move that a little bit, change the spacing a little bit, I guess. I was going to have a chamfer across there, but I'm actually going to put a radius. I'm going to make a radius piece to go in there. But because this is 50 and this is 60, I'm going to push this up about, 10 millimeters, so I can then have a yeah, a 50mm radius piece on the edge, 2-inch. So the plan is to cut this piece of cylinder down, so that will sit in there. This is 100mm round, so I can just cut a quarter of that off, put that on there. That'll look real cool. There's quite nice lines on that. Shaping up to be a really wide bed. It's going to be cool. I like it. I dig it. Turn my attention to how I want to cut out for the wheel arch. So that line there represents how much travel there is on the axle from the top of the axle to the bump stop. So 145mm. So from the top of the tyre to there is 145mm. Stands to reason that that's like the maximum amount of travel. I mean, it's going to be one hell of a bump if you get that far. I thought about cutting half of it out just for symmetry. Now, given that I do want to put a skirt on this later on, or I might want to put a skirt on this later on, I can cut out even more. It feels like, you know, I could do this at a later date if I really wanted to. I could cut that piece out, but of course this piece interacts with where the wheel arch would have to be, where that arc would have to be, so I could kind of cut this off a little bit perhaps, but I don't really want to do that. So I think at the moment I'm going to continue setting it out and laying it out and ignore that. That's kind of where I'm at with it. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with how it's looking. Pretty happy with how it's looking. So the side rail and the rear rail, they are over length at the minute. I've just put them like this. I'm going to mitre these off so that they'll fit together and there won't be any need for capping or anything like that. The end piece comes 100mm in from the end, so that'll seal it off, so your timbers will go in here and they'll be nice and square. Then at the back here I've got that piece which I've designed on CAD. I think I'm going to take some pieces of cardboard or get Tim to laser cut me some, but it will basically it will chamfer in from there to the back. Just not 100% on that design feature yet. I think it'll look cool though. So what do you think of that then? Pretty exciting, huh? What do you think of my design? Do you like it? Nothing really stopped me getting this done now. Just short of space really, that's all.